Could a single bullet really change the fate of millions? Could one assassination set the whole world on fire? And most importantly, did humanity ever learn from that mistake? I'm your curious modern narrator, and today we're diving back into one of the darkest yet most defining moments in human history, World War I. A war that lasted from 1914 to 1918 and pulled over 65 million soldiers into battle. But how did it all begin? Let's rewind to June 28, 1914, Sarajevo in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The heir to the throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was assassinated by a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. One shot. Just one shot. But it became the spark that ignited the biggest explosion of modern times. Back then, Europe was like a barrel of gunpowder. Nations were full of rivalries, economic, military, and national pride. Alliances had formed on one side the Allies, France, Russia, and Britain. On the other, the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and later the Ottoman Empire. The assassination was just the excuse. Austria gave Serbia an ultimatum. Serbia refused. Russia stepped in to defend it. Germany backed Austria. And within days, the entire continent was burning. In August 1914, Germany invaded Belgium and France. Britain joined to defend Belgium. And just like that, the term World War came to life. Still, no one thought it would last 4 years or kill 17 million people. Men marched to war smiling, believing they'd be home by Christmas. But Christmas came and went, trenches filled with bodies. And the world was never the same again. Across the Western Front, went from France to Belgium, over 700 kilometers of trenches were dug. Trench warfare began, and for the first time, humanity saw weapons straight out of nightmares. Mustard gas, early tanks, recon planes, heavy machine guns. Death had become industrial. At the Battle of the Somme in 1916, over 57,000 British soldiers were killed or wounded in a single day. At Verdun, where the French held for 10 brutal months, over 700,000 lives were lost. Yet neither side truly gained ground. An endless war without victory. In the East, Russia was collapsing under pressure. By 1917, revolution erupted. Tsar Nicholas II was overthrown, the Bolsheviks took power, and Russia withdrew from the war. That same year, the United States entered. German submarines had sunk civilian ships like the Lusitania, turning American opinion against Germany. With fresh American troops, the balance finally shifted. By 1918, Germany was breaking apart from within. Exhausted soldiers, starving citizens, and a shattered economy forced Kaiser Wilhelm II to abdicate. And on November 11, 1918, at 11 a.m., the guns fell silent. A strange silence swept across Europe. The short, glorious war had become the longest and most brutal the world had ever seen. Over 9 million soldiers and 8 million civilians were dead. 4 great empires had collapsed: Germany, Russia, the Ottoman, and Austria-Hungary. And the world would never be the same again. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was signed. Germany was forced to pay massive reparations, lose its colonies, and shrink its army. But this treaty brought neither peace nor justice. It planted seeds of anger and revenge that just 20 years later would grow into World War II. Still, not everything was destruction. The war accelerated technology, airplanes, wireless communication, plastic surgery, even women's social roles. For the first time, women worked in factories and hospitals, wore uniforms, and proved the world couldn't function without them. But humanity's soul was deeply scarred. Millions of soldiers returned home with what we now call PTSD. Writers and poets of that era described the war as the end of innocence. And yet, history, with all its pain, remains a mirror to who we are. Look at the map of the modern world, its borders, its nations, and you'll still see the shadows of that war. Even some of today's global crises trace back to decisions made after 1918, like the division of the Middle East or the artificial borders of Africa. And so the big question remains: if one bullet could set the world on fire, what could one tweet, one political choice, one spark do in our hyper-connected world today? Did we really learn peace or just reinvent the way we fight? What do you think? If that single shot in Sarajevo had never been fired, well, how different would our world be? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because maybe, just maybe, the answer still shapes our future.